As I mentioned before, first of all, I'd like to re-welcome everybody to the big call and let you know that we're excited by the timing where we are right now. In fact, we are so excited that we had anticipated tonight being the celebration call for the big call tonight. It's still possible that that occurs, but we're waiting to get a heads up and a possible toll-free number to give out. We can do it live on the call if that makes it in time before we end the call tonight. If not, of course, we'll put it out as a recording and we'll have it on the Big Call website, as I've mentioned before, which is thebigcall.net. Thebigcall.net. But let me say, I'm very, very excited that we've had a large participation of international financial, the international community. We had 757 people request our number for the call on Tuesday's call from outside the U.S. and Canada, and 370 some odd people in the U.S. and Canada that requested the numbers for the call on Tuesday. And we're very thrilled that that's the case. We've also had now a total of 17 people from the new administration that have listened to the call, and that's pretty amazing. Glad to hear that. So they're getting our message loud and clear, especially about the Rebuild America program that we're going to be involved with, and I'm excited about that too. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about where we are in terms of why we believe we're right where we are and why we think that it's conceivable that we could be there tonight or by tomorrow. First of all, let's just say this. There have been yesterday, well, let's go back. The Zimbabwe dollar has been available for, let's put it this way. Since Monday night, the ZIM has been considered a live currency. Been on the screens, and the banks, our big banks, the big four tier one banks, and a few other banks as well, yesterday did some exchanges if you knew about it and were there at exactly the right time, but they were offering what we would call a teaser rate at like 14 cents for the ZIM. And there were two windows, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, 15 minutes each, where that was doable. And I think some of the banks varied a little bit on their timing on that. We thought that actually was going to be the case today, but so far as we know, that did not occur today. In fact, today some of the screens were blank in some cases, whereas they weren't blank yesterday. So it's just kind of amazing. I think this was done to add liquidity, more liquidity to the banking system, and to sort of make them more ready to be compliant for Basel IV. Everybody's pretty lined up for Basel III, and this was for Basel IV compliance, which I understand that was the reason for the additional liquidity. Now, what's really interesting, and I'm going to hit this stuff as I think about it tonight, of course, is that the ZIM has a real strong value. It is now, as we hold these notes, they are a gold-backed bond now. They are. They are gold-backed bonds that you have if you have ZIM. They're extremely valuable, and they're worth more than we thought back in a couple of years ago and even a year ago. They're worth quite a bit. And they'll be worth quite a bit to the final holding bank, if you will, HSBC. So what I'm telling you this about is so that when you do go in to a redemption center that's shared by both Wells Fargo and HSBC, you would be exchanging that gold-backed bond for US dollars and getting really whatever value you negotiate for that on up. So consider that, especially if you're going to be part of Rebuild America, by adopting a city or adopting a town or adopting a community, and then being able to fund projects, housing, neighborhoods, possible school upgrades, um, clinics, infrastructure like bridges, roads, railway, whatever's needed in that particular community, town, or city. And we'll try to help you to prioritize those things when we get together and put our heads together on our new website and our new portal and our new available site that you can language with us on to find out and prioritize which projects are the most important and how to go about them. So we'll make all that information available to you in the coming weeks, okay? What I want you to know also, so the ZIM was not exchangeable as we know today, but we know that some of the activity that's going on out west is enabling the groups to go forward, and those that are involved in the ZIM platforms to be paid out. What my understanding is today, the SKRs and so-called prepaids and advance pays were being handled and paid out. I know that the prosperity packages, let's see, I went on my walk at about, what time was it? About 1 o'clock maybe, something like that. And I know that the prosperity packages had started going out about I'm going to say midnight last night. About midnight last night, the prosperity packages started going out. And I know of some people that have received those and have deposited those funds in their accounts already. So we had about 23,000, I believe, by the time I got that word around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock this afternoon, that had received them. So that's quite a large number. And so we were hearing some really good things about that. So what's happening is all the paymasters accounts have been made liquid, so where they can begin paying out their group members. And of course, a lot of that activity is based out west, as you know. And I understand that liquidity is to be available for us somewhere between now and Monday. And if we were able to go in and exchange, for example, tomorrow, for example, we would have access to some immediate cash up to $10,000. We'd have a debit card, temporary debit card, while we wait for our permanent card in the mail. That temporary card, I believe we could load up to $100,000 on at the Redemption Center, and we'd have full access. I say full, what I mean is access to our large, what I call motherlode account on Monday. The liquidity is supposed to be there to where it is accessible for us on Monday. So we're right in the sweet spot of getting this whole process started for ourselves. And like I said, it could very well happen that I'll get the 800 number to proceed to set appointments even sometime tonight. So we'll see how that comes through. Now, we know that security is en route to the redemption centers. I know that they're trying their best to get everybody in place for that so that we can begin. So that's moving along. You guys know about the SIPS system and how it's integrated now with the SWIFT system. The two are sort of merged so that really the SWIFT is riding on the SIPS system, which is really good. And tonight at midnight, there's a new wrinkle to that that's coming in, and it's called FinTech, F-I-N-T-E-C-H. And FinTech is a way so that there's no longer a middleman involved in the wiring of funds process. In other words, it would be point-to-point, sender and receiving bank, with no middleman to intercept and hold anything back in terms of a wire going through. So that the wires that are capable of going in as little as 18 seconds or even 30 seconds up to as long as 53 or 58 seconds to accomplish those wires, that makes it lightning fast for us. And we should, the way the new system should start beginning tonight at midnight with FinTech, it should happen that these wires are so fast, so transparent, and that we are able to receive those funds, essentially going into a 24/7 banking cycle. And in the not too distant future, like really soon, I believe we'll be able to actually initiate a wire transfer without going into the branch to do it, and possibly from our own PCs and tablets. Now, let me say this about that whole concept. I would not do that until we're absolutely 100% safe in using encrypted software like Privacy Abroad, okay? And I'm recommending, Privacy Abroad as the one to utilize. You guys know Deb Tarheel Girl was the one who brought that onto our call a couple of years ago. And as far as I've been able to tell, it is still the best. Personally, I'm not going to do it. I would trust using the branch, using the private banking arrangements that we have to be able to effect those wires. Okay, but that's the banking system that we're moving into, is a 24/7 system right now using FinTech as the piece, and that FinTech lines that up directly to the SIP system. Also, the U.S. Treasury now is connected directly to that, and they can oversee those transfers and those wires going out. So they're linked with FinTech and with SIPs, okay, our own Treasury. We've been hearing some really good things about moving ahead from our Treasury, and we think they're all very good, positive things moving forward. Let's see what else we know tonight. I can't really tell you anything I didn't bring up on Tuesday as far as Iraq is concerned. We are looking for a visit from Prime Minister Abadi, we think this week, even though here it is Thursday. So I'm not quite sure what the timing is on that. I'm not quite sure. I would have thought he would be, I would have heard if he were coming today or tomorrow, but I haven't heard for sure. So that's something that we've got still out there. But we know Iraq is really well underway with their whole program right now. They did receive the loan that they were looking for from the UK a few days ago, and that kind of put them over the top. There was a call, gosh, I'm going to say it was Sunday, I think it was, that involved all of the Federal Reserve banks around the world and got all of them lined up and synced in. And now we're just at a point where, with everything having started and the ZIM is all lined up and ready to go and good, I think, guys, we are basically, I believe, hours to a day away from getting underway and getting started with what it is we've been waiting for all this time. And like I said, I may even get it before the call is over tonight. I may get the toll-free number. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Well, if I can think of anything else that's crucial in the way of intel, it's so fun because we're right there toward the very end. And I didn't think I'd have to even do an intel segment tonight. I just thought I'd be able to give you the phone number tonight. That's how spur of the moment this is. So let's go ahead and proceed with Bob.